let's talk about something that's rather interesting. Lauren and I have had many discussions as we look at, since Solex began, millions of dollars have been spent refining and developing AO scan technology. Has that price changed?
Our price will always be $149.
Yeah, you got it. What did Lachelle say? You got to get comfortable saying that. The price is what? Yeah, good. And those that know it's a steal. But it's interesting, the day and age in which we live, because of this thing called, you may have heard of it, called artificial intelligence, AI. Have you heard about this? How many of you use it? Okay, I know a lot of you use it because I've seen your emails. I know when you ask ChatGPT to write it for you. And that's all right, because that's really some of the lift that it does, right? Well, it really helps us, doesn't it?
It does. It's a great tool.
I mean, some of the many things that it can do, one of the things actually that we have to preface it with is we're not here to persuade you as to whether artificial intelligence is going to be good or bad. Lauren and I are not going to stand here and say, yeah, you should be a champion of it, or no, you should completely stay away from it. The one thing at least we agree on completely is that Pandora's box has been opened, and you're not going to get that back in. Okay? Well, are we going to get an AI cleaner for your house, was the question. No, we don't have that yet. But we want to say that there are a lot of good things, right? I mean, you guys talk about emails. It can be really an assistant in so many ways. AI can do what else? What else does AI do?
AI can make the mundane things that you do much easier. Can make it a little more comprehensible. I don't even know if that's a real word. But it makes what you're doing look better, right? It can. But do you remember when computers first came out? There was a phrase, garbage in, garbage out. And I think we need to look at AI the same way. Because AI is an artificial intelligence, which means it's not real. It means it's not the human. It means it's only going to give you back what you put in. And that would be okay if it was just what you put in. But it's what everybody in the world is putting in. So when you ask a question or you give it a routine, it's giving you all this information. And that's where the human element has to come back into play. Is this right? Now, you have a good question for that, or a good way to...
Well, yeah, one of the things in researching, AI is not going away. It's got a lot of value, but it has a lot of risks associated with it as well. And so we need to understand where our place is in between the value it can offer and the risk it's going to present with how we end up using it. One of the best things that I was taught as I was taking, I can't stop going to school. It's just like, it's in me. And so I've taken night classes on artificial intelligence to know more about it so we are better prepared, right, for how to best use it. University of Utah was the most recent class I took up there. I love that campus. I got my master's up there. I love those people. And one of the things that they taught me so well right off the cuff was, Kai, if you're going to use artificial intelligence because of the potential fear that's associated with the risks of using it, you better be the human in the room. Meaning, you don't just throw stuff in and take stuff out and expect it to be good enough. Don't go blindly into using it. Be the human in the room, because that's always the most valuable thing to assess whether AI is good or bad. Now, people are starting to get in trouble using artificial intelligence.
In fact, this state was one just recently.
Yeah, this year, a lawyer was sanctioned in 2025 for using ChatGPT as a part of a brief that he was writing that actually spit out incorrect information. It's happened all over the United States already, and you know that that's not where it's going to stop, right? It's going to continue to go. The question is, should we use it? Should we not use it? Or should we use it in a way that we remain the human in the room? And I think my proposal would be the last, right?
You definitely want to use the tool. None of us in this room want to go back to horse and buggy, right? And the thing is can you imagine your life right now if you didn't have a cell phone? And every time, when the internet first came out, oh, that's evil. And AI, just like the internet, and just like your cell phone, and so many other technologies, is neither good or evil. It is a tool. What determines good or evil is what whoever's in control is asking something to do. So I think what Kai and I are trying to say is AO is here. It's here to stay. It's in its infancy, but it's going from infancy to adulthood in record time. And like what Kai said, you have to be the human in the room. Use it wisely. Pay attention. What is it they call, Kai? They had hallucinates.
Yeah, to hallucinate. One of the things you have to, and that's what happened to some of these lawyers, is you have to pay attention to what information comes out to see. If you ask any language learning model to do something, by rule, it has to do the thing. Whether it's right or whether it's wrong, it really doesn't care. It doesn't have a moral compass. It doesn't necessarily understand what that is. But what it does understand are the rules that it has to abide by. And so you can ask it a question like, scan me. And guess what it's going to do? It's going to do its very best to scan you. It's going to have a very tough time, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to produce a result. It will produce a result. The question is, are you the human in the room to understand that result, is it correct? What is it based on? And I always ask the question, even as I've used AI to help me with my scans. Has anybody run a scan and didn't know perfectly everything that was on that scan? I mean, Dr. Lobel's probably the only one in the room that knew everything, right, that was going on. The rest of us are sitting there like, what is that word? Is that a letter? I don't even know if that's a letter.
We've had doctors say, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. And so I've used it. I've used it to be my health coach. I've done a scan. I've uploaded it into an artificial intelligence. I've removed personal information. Always a good idea. Because like Loran said, it goes out for the world to see. But then I ask it to be my health coach. Teach me something about these last 2 scans, these last 3 scans that I've done that I could do better or improve in my life so I could better understand those things that I don't even understand, right? And it does a great job. I've asked it to be an energetic supervisor for me. Help me get my energy aligned based off the output of the readings of the reports. And it's done a wonderful job to help me analyze information better. And these do that very well, but only because of the information that it sits on.
And the guidelines in place.
Yeah, the guidelines that I put in place, what I ask it to be, and then I always ask it, when it gives me suggestions to do something, and if you do use an AI in this way with your scans, you always ask it to validate its information, okay? Prove it. Give me the study that showed that this is the thing that I should be doing because of that information that I gave you, right? So you're the human in the room. You can give it a role, give it a responsibility, put boundaries on it when you tell it what to do, and it's going to spit out a result. And then you ask it to prove itself. And if it can prove itself, then you've got good information. Well, let's take a step back, Lauren. Let's in order to not go wholly into thinking that AI really, as a health coach or as anything else for that matter, is the be-all, end-all, that scan that I uploaded came from where?
Came from the scanner. AO scan is scanning you based on science, based on proven databases. In other words, the AO scan is a program that we host in the cloud. None of your information goes into the cloud, just the results from your scan go up. It goes up because the scanner was able to identify frequencies in your body. AI cannot do that. It can imitate it, but it cannot measure your frequencies. Your frequencies from the AI go up, or AO go up. Those frequencies are then compared to a database of known, healthy, balanced frequencies. And then it spits out a report that says that frequency was either in harmony with the known database, or vibrating too fast or vibrating too slow. That comes down. That information can be incredibly over. A lot. I mean, there's so much as what do I do with this? There is where AI can be really helpful, is taking that data, organizing it, like Kaya said, and have it give you some guidelines based on information that you know was real to begin with.
So if we were to look at whether AI will be AO, the answer, absolutely, based on what Loran just said, is that AI cannot be AO because AO required real human beings being studied over decades of time with real data points and hundreds of thousands of data points over many, many years. That was the research that AI cannot go knock up on somebody's door. It's not going to build a brick and mortar place for a clinical research to take place. All it can do is take the information that somebody else did and try and produce a result from it. Because of that, it can never become an AO as long as we protect that blueprint data set that we utilize in the scanner.
And that database is not in the public domain. It is not in the AO databases. But even if it was, it is just a database. You still have to do the physical human work of recording your frequencies. And AI is incapable of doing that. And the hype out there that says otherwise, they're just misinformed. It cannot measure your frequencies. Now, if that database was in the AI, you still have to get the frequencies up there to compare it to. Otherwise, it's just going to give you garbage out because nothing went in.
The thing that is critical as this conversation, we bring this up because we've had this question asked of us many times in more recent months. Can AO be AI? Is AO AI? Will AI ever be an AO? Did I confuse you? Maybe I confused myself. No. The answer is absolutely, emphatically, no. It cannot be. It will not be. And that doesn't mean that AI isn't good. It will be good. It is good. There's a lot of good things that will come from it. There's a lot of dangerous things. So be the human in the room. Make sure you keep AO where it needs to be. And that's with human beings doing the human work for the benefit of human beings, other human beings, right? Let AI be what it is. And that's a great analytical resource. It can help you get information. It can help you understand massive amounts of information in a simple way that's easy to grasp and know what to do with. But understand that you are the person that you're doing it for, or the person you are doing it for is another human being that needs to be carefully guarded and guided through this. And so with that, we talk about this only because we want to make sure that there was a clear, distinct line in the sand. That AI is not AO. AO is not artificial. AO is authentic. And we'll leave it there.